Friends, family, fans, we're live, baby. Back 9 bets, episode 127. MEXRICO Open. Some things just sound better when you write them down and when they're on the tip of your tongue. It's the Mexico Open. It's been a great year. We've lost millions of units, 37 to be exact, 35 to be exact. Hasn't been good. But we do this for fun, and this is why we rock the clown wig. You know, I'm obviously a bozo. I have no idea what I'm doing. The first 4 years that I've been profitable in 3 of them in the placement market means nothing when you absolutely have no idea how to hit a single bet. We had one bet that we hit last week. Tony Finau lost 12 units on the rest of the bets. So it is what it is. I did a nice little breakdown on all of that on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates. Go check that show out as well on Mayo Media. Wherever you are finding this, you likely can find that one. Kenny had a fun time on there. People called him racist. Kenny's not a racist, but it was a good time. Wheels Up saying cheers. What's cooking? Wheels Up. Sights saying what up. JD saying Byron. And Chris Draper saying short time frame. Byron long. Exactly, my man. Exactly. Chris, fun fact. We're going to hit 2 outrights in the same tournament this week. Got an outright, and we got an outright without market with one of the guys that we bet who's in the without market, if that makes any sense. 2 outrights this week. That'll take care of business real quick for us. So we're going to do good things. It is what it is. Happy to have you all in here. For those of you that don't remember to comment in the comments in the YouTube below, after the show's done, I give away a free month subscription to my Patreon, which is not just my picks. It's my models. It's all my tools I'll be using here in the next little while. I think it was Jasper Clicks. You know who you are. You watch the show. Jasper Clicks 93. You guessed Danny List. I mean, that was the obvious go-to. We was going to finish DFL last week. He didn't finish DFL. He finished like 5th last. So go hit the comments after the show's gone live. Get yourself a free month Discord membership with all my tools, all that jazz. We'll be doing a giveaway here at halfway through the show. For those of you in the live chat, I've got a nice little question for you guys that's going to blow your minds. Let's get into this. As always, show's brought to you by Bet105. Check them out in the link in the description below. The best matchup markets in the industry. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you're looking to bet TGL, minus 110 on both sides. If you go to any other sports book, they will hit you with the minus 115 on at least one of the sides, potentially both. So Bet105 gives you the ability to just grind out profits if you are in the mood for that kind of stuff, available in all 50 states as well. So we're working on with them to get some placement markets added to the mix, all of that jazz. Let's get into it. It's the Mexico Open. What are we looking for the Mexico Open? We've had Jake Knapp, Jon Rahm, Tony Finau. 3 of the longest hitters on the PGA Tour took care of business at this golf course. So that's the easiest avenue to success. Nuke the tee balls. There are some guys that succeed at this golf course that haven't hit it very, very far, but it's a bit more difficult to do. But there are some guys that hit it very accurately that I dropped some nuggets in the Discord with really good proximities from the fairway from 200 plus. So there's an interesting dynamic here because you can look for guys that have really good proximity from the rough, who have lots of distance but inaccuracy off the tee. Then you can look for guys that are accurate off the tee but have really good proximities from the fairway, where they find themselves obviously all the time. They don't have tons of distance. They're always in the fairway. So for DFS, for bets, that's different ways. You can run your model 2 different ways. You don't have to have one model that runs it correctly for everything. That's the whole point about running models, is you can check it out, go that way, go this way, see that, see this. You know what I'm saying? Like a circus. You got to juggle those things, juggle the models and get them cooking to the way you want them. So that's one thing. 8 out of every 10 shots this week will come from 150 and out. That's insane. So only 2 of every 10 come within 150, which is wedge range. So Jon Rahm, the wedge fest guy, the anti-wedge fest guy, surprise, surprise, he thrived at this kind of golf course. Obvious predictors of success. Jake Knapp finished top 5 at the Farmers prior. He then won the Mexico. Torrey and Tony Finau are basically the same thing. I said the wrong word. Tony plays well at Torrey and then plays well in Mexico. John Rahm has won the US Open at Torrey Pines and won the Mexico Open. Jake Knapp, T3 at Thingy Thing. So let's get into it right away. We can do some fun stuff. I'll do a bit of a deep dive right off the bat here with you guys. We can show you the model as we go along too. So I'm going to scoot it over. Here's our upside rankings, not upside down, just upside, because we're looking for some upside. And then we're going to go ahead all the way to the right-hand side here. And I'm actually going to do this so I don't ruin it for other people. This is how you can go and use this model if you are in the Discord. You go make a copy of Mexico Open, make a copy so that the 4 people that are in it right now, I'm not ruining their lives. So we're going to watch the screen go white, and then you can go over here, you see, click the file, make the copy, then you can edit the blah, 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 blah. So now this file is yours. You can edit it how you feel. I've locked it, obviously, initially because I don't want you messing with my model. So we're going to go back to the model, the Maniacs model over here, scoot over to the right-hand side where I have the course history and recent form for these guys. And if we take a look at the Genesis Invitational, that was the last time they played at Torrey Pines. We've got a couple guys in the field. Patrick Rogers finished 3rd at the Gen Inv. We had Akshay Bhatia finish 9th with the ball striking pedigree of a goddamn beast. Michael Kim 13th, Kevin Yu 17th, Jake Knapp 17th. Then the rest finished. Sam Stevens finished 31st. Terrible situation on his part when we bet him last week for a top 10, top 5. Completely shit the bed on the approach side of things. Aaron Rye finding himself down the board. There's Steven Yeager, Ben Griffin. The only person playing this week that missed the cut was Rasmus, and he finished DFL, shot 15 over par. I have him in 30% of my best ball lineups. He lost, I think, in the first round, 15 points. So had I just not drafted Rasmus for the Farmers, he would have saved me 15 points, but no. He goes and does well at the waste management and then lets us down in a massive way. So those are some Genesis Invitational finishing positions. Then we can go to the Farmers. You can see where they've finished over here. Sam Stevens, surprise, surprise, finished 2nd at the Farmers Insurance. Chris Ventura, 4th in the Farmers. Hayden Springer, Will Gordon, Grayson Sig, Lanto Griffin, K.H. Lee, and Joel Damon. I'm just going to color Joel Damon yellow over here for myself so I can remember, because I fancy Joel Damon. And in fact, while I'm showing off this beautiful model, we can go all the way over here. This is not POA, by the way. This is just organic greens across all surfaces. I'm talking about these kind of situations here. So if you go, guys with super small accuracy, you can look for the smallest rankings. You find the accurate dudes, and then you go over here and you see, okay, strokes gained from the fairway, 200 plus. Take a look at like Andrew Putnam. No wonder he's had success at a golf course like this. Aaron Rye plays really well at Torrey Pines every now and then. That's why he's done some good things. Where's Joel Damon? Here he is over here. If you take a look at Joel Damon's strokes gained from 200 plus, 7th in this field. So there's some avenues for some of these guys to get themselves in the mix, even if you have some inaccuracies. Then if you want, you can go, you filter on the best distance guys in the field. Aldrich, Nicholas Norgard, Rasmus Højgaard, Chris Gotterup, Trey Mullinax. Anything with a random ass name and letter in there is typically going to be nuking it off the tee. Then you can take a look here. Okay, so some of these guys with this amount of distance, they're going to typically be in the rough anyway, because look at all this accuracy that they're missing out on down the side here. So you can go to the rough and the strokes gained from the rough out of 150 out. It's not going to separate it into 50-yard buckets. It's either this side of 150 or the long side of 150. So less than 150 strokes gained, more than 150 strokes gained over there. This is the guys we're looking for. Who's particularly good gaining strokes out of the rough from 150 and out? As you can see, Michael Thorbjornsson, just incredible on the strokes gained side of things, no matter where he is, from 200 plus or 150 in the rough. Very good stuff there. Hayden Springer, very, very good out of the rough. He's had some success here. Kurt Kitayama, very good out of the rough as well. Just a few names to mention as we're going along. So that's kind of what you can get from this part of the model. We can see the bet tracker over here. I've got all some bets, blah, blah, blah. Blow the whole show on the screen as I do that. As you can see, it's been a complete fucking disaster betting any week. We've lost and lost and lost and lost. But I spoke about it on the show. I'm not going to go over it again. Go check out the Fantasy Golf Degenerates. But I'm not sure I've ever had a week where I've lost 6 units, 9.5 units, 12 units. I don't understand how that's happened. You have to lose so many bets for that to happen, and I did. So off we go. I suck at ass. And yeah, also, last week's show was called Scotty Doesn't Know How to Chip. If I go back and look at Scotty Scheffler's stats for last week, in round 1, he gained 0 strokes. Because I was saying he has never eclipsed 1 stroke gained in any single round since the Olympics. So he didn't gain any strokes in round 1, did Scotty. In round 2, Scotty Scheffler gained 2.9 strokes on the field. In round 3, Scotty Scheffler lost half a stroke. In round 4, Scotty Scheffler gained 2.3. So not even did he just eclipse that once, he did it twice and gained 2+ strokes, almost 3 the first time he did it. So I have no idea what I'm talking about, even though they were objective, statistical observations. We just got it wrong. It's obviously, if I make a podcast name, it's going to happen the opposite way, because that's just what's happening with me right now. I bet Ludwig for a matchup. He won the freaking tournament. I lost the matchup against Justin Thomas in round 3. It was the only bad round Ludwig played. It is what it is. But you know what? Instead of pounding the table, pound that like button, just like Brad's mentioning over there. Hola, buenos nachos, commentating nerd. I'm pathetic when it comes to Mexican. Actually, you know what? I'm very good at Mexican. I can smash burritos. I'm terrible when it comes to Spanish. I don't know why I thought I said Mexican there. Sites asking, you have such inverse luck, it's astonishing. Like, the probability is astronomical that you've missed this. I know, exactly. Like, and these aren't like plus 3, 4, 500 bets. They're like plus 200, plus 150, minus 115s. At some point, they got to just like be literally clicking random buttons will get you there. So Brad saying looking good. We got salt. I don't even know how to say that name. Chris, what's up? Laughing at what I look like. And then, yeah, we're going to go with Wheels Up asking, I don't see a big talent gap between the 7,000 and 10,000 DFS range. Where's the point this week where a player's price significantly impacts your lineup construction DFS? Okay. We're going to get to some DFS. We don't have too many bets this week. We have a ton of top 40s. That's where the market took us, and that's where we're going to be going. So we've got and tequila. Man, I had a tequila on Saturday, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw me hit a drive off of the top of a plastic tequila bottle. Did that. I do a lot of good things out in the world. Tiger misses a 5-foot on hole 1 to lose the hole for TGL. Yeah, I missed all 3 bets on TGL yesterday, by the way. But I told you guys to bet the other side on Bet 105 because you'd get the best odds on the other side, and they all 3 cashed. I went 0 for 3. So I'm freaking on fire right now. I'm making people tons of money. So we're going to get back to the model. Let's chat some golf. Let's chat some bets. I'm doing great. I'm loving life. I don't know how I was going to react on camera, getting in front of you guys. I'm feeling fantastic, right? Okie dokie. So let's get to the model. I was showing off all my stuff. So we got a form tracker. Kenny asked me to put some stuff in here for strokes gained over the last periods of time. So here's the last 12 months. Here's the last 4 months. And then here's 2025, which is basically 1.5 months. So the last 12 months, the best golfer in this field is Akshay Bhatia. He's gained you a full stroke per round. Congratulations to Akshay. Most of it coming with a solid what on earth is going on here. How does that even make any sense? That's 1.47. Why is that total different? Cool. I love finding shit wrong with my stuff in the mix here, but it is what it is. What's going on here? This makes sense. 0.0. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. That's why. Okay, because it's got to do with, here I was thinking I'm giving you guys fake news. It's a shot link. So the strokes gain totals will be for every single round. Obviously the ball striking, the balls off the tee, all that jazz will have to be at shot link rounds. And the majority of people playing this week don't have tournaments that have lots of shot link. They play the course rotation ones. They played in the fall swing when there was no shot link and all that jazz. So Akshay, Kurt Kiriyama, Matteo Manacero, Taylor Moore, Harry Hall, and Rasmus all sitting at the top of the last 12 months. If we check at the top of the last 4 months, Taylor Moore, Harry Hall, Kevin Roy, who withdrew from Tory a few weeks ago, Bo Hassler, CT Pan, Rasmus, Akshay a little further down. And as you can see here, the smaller the sample size, the higher the average strokes gains, because that's just variance for you. And then if we go to 2025, strokes gain total, Taylor Moore. This guy is just balling out right now. Michael Kim, playing great golf. Harry Hall, again, in the mix. We haven't hit a single top 20 on Harry Hall, but he's the 4th best player in this field this year. That's just the kind of year we've had. It is what it is. We bet Bo Hassler as well. Top 20 market. Doesn't come through for us. Still 4th, 5th best guy in this field. So you can use this tool for all sorts of stuff that you want. As always, here's my Maniac tool. You can use this for all your betting purposes. We've got the matchup tool that we'll be going through a little bit later for Bet 105. We've got the one and done tool that you can use for all of your one and done needs. I'm going to make that a quick hello one and done tool. Show up here, please. There we go. As you can see, we chose Rory McIlroy in the one and done. That went very well. So I'm sucking ass in the one and dones. Let's get to the actual part of the show. Let's freaking talk some bets. Let's have ourselves a good time. Yes. All right. First name. First, and I have some notes on these guys. I actually prepared a little bit of stuff here. If you hear random noises and notifications, please let me know. I have the Discord up because that's where I popped all my notes. So I'm pulling that up for y'all right now. And we're going to talk some matchups. I mean, some top 40s. And the first one is Quade Cummings. Quade Cummins. Not even Cummings. It's Cummins. So the old school throw the G away as you walk through the Cummins door. And here we have Quade. Course history, pretty darn solid. He's a KFT guy. So he finishes inside the top 40 on the KFT and the PGA 66% of the time. If you take a look at Quade, he's a 40th in the field in distance. All of these proximity numbers are going to be very skewed. He's hardly played any golf. So I'm just going to read you what I've deep dived on this guy. He's played 3 times this year on the PGA Tour. He's had 2 missed cuts and a T34. Top 40 bet, right? His KFT finish rate, top 40, is 66%, and he's got tons of distance off the tee with a stealthy little putter. So that's basically Quade Cummins for you. The model kicked him out quite nicely. What does he show up as in the model? Not necessarily the greatest when it comes to upside, because we've got almost 0 top 5. I mean, 11% is not terrible, but the safety rankings when it comes to top 40s and top 20s, he's pretty elite in that department. So we fancy Quade Cummins. Top 40, plus 140, ties paid in full, BetMGM, Bet365, and DraftKings. All 3 of those books have ties paid in full. You want to make sure you're pretty much clicking on those ties paid in full instead of the dead heated situations. That can get nasty real quick, especially for top 40s when people get bunched up on that part of the leaderboard. Quade Cummins, top 40, plus 140. Let's chat about Ryan Gerard. The Giraffe, Ryan Gerard. There we go. Okay. 26th in the safety ranking, 66th in upside. Same situation. By the way, before we get to Ryan Gerard's top 40 bet, if you're not playing Ryan Gerard in round 1 and round 2 showdown, what are you really ever doing with your life? Take a look at these metrics. No wonder this guy's top 40 rate is so freaking elite. It's because he's crushing it on the Corn Ferry Tour and the PGA. He's very, very good in rounds 1 and 2. He's not cut out for weekend golf whatsoever. I mean, this is a massive drop-off in strokes gain from the weekend to before the cut's made. So this guy makes cuts, but gee whiz, does he suck it up over the weekend. Gerard finished 33rd at Mexico 2 years ago, and as you can see here, we've got some credible finishes. Incredibly credible finishes. WWT in Mexico, by the way, we'll be clinging on to that a little bit going forward. Finished 14th. Finished 37th at the Sony, 51st at the Amex. Didn't cash the top 40 bet, but 51st is pretty close. And then 15th at the Farmers, So he played quite nicely at the Farmers, great comp. I mean, all the stars are lining up. Like, if you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when I come up with bets like this, he's obviously not going to cash it for us, but the signs are there. I mean, he's been doing it. He plays great golf. We get solid odds, BetMGM, Bet365. They're all in that minus 105, minus 110 range. And I love this dude. Play him in round 1 and round 2 showdown. We might even be tinkering him with a first round leader situation at some point, but not this week. We have another guy we're going to chat about in that department too. So top 40 bet on this dude. Simple as that. You've seen the top 40 rates. It's fantastic. 63% from the KFT and the PGA. And even on the PGA Tour, he's been crushing the top 40 market. I see the signal sucks. Yeah. Byron, I need to make a tour for content creators to say potgieter correctly. Love the potgieters out there. Potguiders. Potgieter, baby. We'll be chatting about Aldrich here in a little bit. Don't you stress, julle boys. All right, so Ryan Gerard in die agterkant. Nou gaan ons vorentoe. That means Ryan Gerard in the back mirror behind us, and we're going forward now with the next bet. Who's Matteo Manassero? The Italian. He's not French. He's Italian. And Matteo, let me tell you about Matteo. He finishes inside the top 40 at a 59% clip. DP World Tour graduate. Now, the thing is with Matteo, if you take a look at the distance, I mean, when I was young, Matteo was winning golf tournaments. When I was still in school, Matteo was winning golf tournaments. So he's got older, and I'm seeing my Wi-Fi is doing some crazy stuff. We've had severely cold weather the last little while. Matteo, eh? I don't know. I'm not even going to try and speak Italian. I'm terrible with accents. I've got my own accent that's permanent, so I don't have to be good with them. But Matteo's not very long off the tee, but he's very, very accurate. And he's typically been okay. So he's very good with the wedges, very good with the mid-irons. Once you get a little longer away, tends to struggle, but not terrible on the strokes gain front from 200 out. We'll see what he can do in that department. Out the rough, he's pretty good with the wedge. And out the rough from 150 and out, he's pretty good to go. So he's going to be in the fairway for the most part. And what I wanted to bring up here for Matteo was some solid starts to the year. He's played twice on the PGA this year and finished 43rd and 25th. At the Farmers, he finished 25th. He's not a long driver of the golf ball, yet he still finished 25th over there. So I can see when things go south on the Wi-Fi front, unfortunately. But when it's so cold like this, it's like it's 0 degrees right now here in Iowa. So when the weather gets cold, the Wi-Fi just sucks. There's nothing I can really do about it, unfortunately. But I can slow down the show a little bit so that shit doesn't go crazy while I'm splurting off all sorts of crap and going for them. So, all good. Better now. Matteo Manassero, top 40, plus 125. Let's see what he can do for us. Solid starts to the year. Great track record for the top 40 market. Wi-Fi sucking ass again. We'll hang tight. But things are looking good for Matteo. Why? Why is this a situation? Bringing the good vibes, the Wi-Fi not letting us have fun. But it is what it is. We're going to bet Matteo. I'll put banners up, and hopefully it works. Next up, Kenny asked me about Ricky Castillo. I had no idea who he was. Went and deep dive the man. Hey, we're going to be betting this guy. Top 40s. He's solid. He's good stuff. If you want to be looking for Ricky Castillo shares, I suggest this week is the week to start buying them. If we take a look at his safety ranking versus his upside, that's an immediate giveaway. Top 40 bets, top 20 bets versus top 10s, top 5s. Massive jump from 100 on upside down to 50th, which is good. Down is good for us on the safety ranking side of things. Top 40 rates of 61%, played a decent amount over there. So Ryan Gerard, we said already, 4 for 4 on made cuts this year. 2 of them top 20s, 3 of them top 40. Awesome stuff. 26th in the safety ranking for Gerard for me. So very nice stuff on his department. Ricky Castillo, nukes off the tee. T15th at the Farmers. So we'll scroll over here a little bit. Where the nukes? 11th in the field in nukes. Beautiful to see. Small data size, 14th in the field in proximity from over 200 yards. He's sitting 9th in the field in proximity from 150 out in the rough. So that's good to see over there. If we want to take a look at Castillo, he has finished 15th at the Farmers. Calm course, remember. Like that kind of a calm course. 43rd at the Amex. So right around that top 40 mark, and then missed the cut at the Sony. Can't say that that's a perfect golf course for him. Anyway, first time playing on the PGA Tour this year as a Korn Ferry Tour graduate. We'll be chatting about Alex Smalley. I think he's a great name this week, for sure, for sure. We're going through the bets, then we'll dive into some DFS. We're kind of racing through the bets yet today. Don't have too many anyway, so we can lean a little more into the DFS side of things. So Ricky Castillo on the Korn Ferry Tour, 9 of his last 12 KFT finishes were top 40s. This is like a KFT-ish level field. KFT plus, basically. So you're going to get some good golfers in this field that are at the top of the board. But for the most part, these are all guys that the KFT guys can hang out with. They're solid options. So don't think that, I mean, look at this. Look at these limited strokes gain metrics here. Off the tee is 4th, 3rd in ball striking, and then the short game goes to absolute shit. But you know what? For a top 40 bet, with that elite kind of a trait, that's going to get you into the top 40, especially when the ball striking is so consistent. You know, you're probably just missing a multitude of birdies on repeat, unfortunately, for old Ricky Castillo. Moving along, let's go to Danny Walker. I think he's the final guy that we've spoken about over here. Danny Walker, show up on the model. Let's click some buttons and get him on the screen. Danny Walker, top 40, plus 260. Tires paid in full. We take a look at old Danny Walker's situation. Top 40 rate of 50%. Solid stuff there. Not as good as the other guys we've been placing. But as you can see, the percentages go down, and so do the odds. The percentage goes down, and the odds go up. If that makes any sense. I don't know why I made that so difficult to say, but you know what I'm talking about anyway. I didn't even have to say that. You guys are smart sons of guns. But Danny Walker, if we take a look at his stats, 9 of his last 11 KFT events were top 40s. 9 of the last 11. Now, 911 is not the greatest number in the world, but I think he's going to absolutely just go crazy for us. So he's pretty darn good. Finished 42nd at the Farmers. Good stuff over there. Missed 2 cuts before that, but he's plus 260. So he's not like with the plus 120 boys that have the higher top 40 marks with some better form. He struggled to start going, and then at a golf course that we kind of like again this week, he finished 42nd. So we'll take it plus 260 on Danny Walker, blue label, and hopefully, you know, he swings as smoothly as the blue label goes down, for those of you that indulge yourselves in that department. For his strokes gained limited capacity so far, his main attribute is around the green, 15th in the field, gaining strokes there, and then 46th off the tee. Typically finds himself middle of the pack distance-wise, treacherous with the accuracy and solid proximity numbers from 200 plus, solid proximity numbers from 150. It is what it is. Very limited sample size. Not going to get too caught up about the metrics there on those guys because, you know, one very good shot can change all of those metrics quite quickly. Let's go to our next guy. Some top 20 bets. We're going to go top placements, and then we're going to figure out the following from there. Harry Hall. This dude, by the way, I'll actually bring it up right now. We're going to go to my tool, use the placement research tool for you guys. If you're a member of the Patreon, link in the description below. You get all of these research tools. You get the model. You get the Discord where we go back and forth with all sorts of fun commentary in there. If you want to take a look at Harry Hall's situation, you can go, who's playing on the PGA, who's playing in this week. You can go find yourself different golf courses, different betting markets. You can find the different years associated with all of that stuff. So if you just want to take a look, for instance, let's just reset these filters entirely and go and type in here the Mexico Open, because that's where we're playing. And we want to click on that name. It's only been here for the last little while. Here are the very best bets that have been made and paid at this golf course. Tony Finau returned you $300 in the top 20 market. He's obviously cashed out 3 of the 3 years that the golf course has happened. And guess what? We hammered Tony Finau in best ball, Guess what? Tony Finau hammered his wife, and now they have another baby, and now he's not playing in Mexico this week. So we're running hot in that department. Gosh darn it. But we don't want to know what happened in the past about people not playing this week. We want to know what's happening going forward. And Steven Jaeger is essentially the same as Tony Finau. He's cashed all 3 of his top 20 bets. And you know what? While we're just on this, here it is. Simple as that. Steven Jaeger, top 20 plus 120. It's the same odds as he was last year, plus 140 the year before, and plus 650 in 2022 when Jaeger was still a young buck. So Jaeger's not going to be told in the placement tool to go to him. Unfortunately, if we scroll around here, let's try and find Steven Jaeger. We go safety rankings, see if he shows up here a little soon. He's 9th in the safety rankings, 3rd in upside, because as you can see here, his top 20 and top 5 rates are only separated by 7%. That's quite, I'm not even showing you his name. That's quite stuck together. You're typically looking for a bit more graduation between the different things. But when you find numbers like this, you bet them in specific areas. We're just going to go to the top 20 market. We probably should do top 5, but I don't know. I mean, his top 5 market here hasn't necessarily been the greatest, has it? Let's take a look here. If we do that, top 5s, Steven Jaeger doesn't even show. Oh, he does. He would have cashed us 1 top 5 would have been last year. So you could potentially go to him in that market. He's probably roughly in the same vicinity, but we kind of fancy the top 20 bet there on the Jaeger bomb. So as simple as that. You can just use this tool to figure that kind of stuff out. We can get rid of the Mexico Open situation here, and then we can just see, okay, how's someone done in that specific market? The reason why we were a little hesitant on Jaeger is if you take a look at his overall performance in the top 20 market, it hasn't been the greatest. This is at the Farmers. We're not necessarily looking for that. And then since 2024 and 2025, we can take a look at Jaeger's situation, get my fat face out of the way here, and get his thing out of the way. Then you can see exactly what's going on. Top 20 market hasn't been profitable for him. He's more of a top 5 guy. As you can see here, he's returned you $286 betting to return 100 every single time you bet Steven Jaeger. So in the top 5 market, he shows up every now and then. Been a while, rattle off a couple there, but you're investing so little in him for those top 5s that when he returns at $100, it's doubling up quite quickly. So with 2 in the last couple weeks of golf, Black Desert and the Sony Open, you know what I'm saying. When they double-digit odds, 16-1, 14-1, plus 650 at the Black Desert, that kind of stuff. Top 20 bets, he's just kind of popping. So that's the thing. You want to go to him in the top 5 market typically, but we kind of fancy his chances around this golf course. We're not going with the same philosophy that we typically apply to everything. We're being a bit more malleable, a bit more clayey. We want to kind of adapt to what the cards tell us to do. And the course history has been phenomenal. He loves to finish inside the top 20 at this golf course. He's obviously not going to do it this week. So you feel me. But it is what it is. That's kind of just what we're trying to get to with this tool. And then we have another name that we're going to go by, Harry Hall, over here. We take a look at Harry Hall. He's been quite impressive in the top 20 market the last little while. As you can see here, very, very nice things. I'll get rid of his name real quick so you can see what's going on there. But we've got the only bar that's been positive for Harry Hall is the top 20 market. If you click on the top 20 column over here, it'll pull up exactly all the different odds for the last little while. And we had 5 consecutive top 20s from Harry Hall in the top 20 market over there, ranging from about plus 120 to plus 200 at the Sony Open when he cashed that bet. Then we decide, you know what? Looks like Harry Hall's playing some good golf. I'll have you guess when we started betting Harry Hall top 20, and it's not that obvious. It's not that difficult to guess because it's right around the AT&T Pebble Beach Waste Management Phoenix Open. He was crushing it at the Waste Management. And then in the space of 3 holes, I think he went 5 over par. Lost us a matchup that day and completely missed the cut. So this is literally the variance we've been speaking about. When last did Harry Hall have a 3-stretch holes? A stretch of 3 holes. There we go. That was a stretch. A stretch of 3 holes where he went 5 over. Obviously, when we bet him, that's when that happens. So I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. We're going back to him at +1 freaking 60. Bet MGM, ties paid in full. Get your Harry Hall on. Let's go. Been playing great. We're going to go back to the model here. Take a quick peek. He finished T21 at the Amex. So that was a solid performance by him over there. Lost to like from Harry Hall. Like if we go to the safety ranking, he's number 1 in the model, but his upside is 12th. Why is that? Well, 0 top 5s outside of the win at the alternate event. So you want to be betting him in the top 40 market, in the top 20 market quite routinely. But in this field, the percentages don't quite match up as nicely as I'd like because this field is super weak. So the placement finishing rates that you're seeing here, top 5s, top 10s, top 40s, they're all because of signature events, some bigger fields that have better golfers in them. This week, it's pretty poor, the quality of the field. You know, we've got some fun names, but the odds are going to suck. So I didn't want to mess with the calculation too much to incorporate the model ranking more than the calculation has been typically been doing. I don't want to be changing things, even though it's been such a disastrous start to the year. I think, you know, we're going to pick and choose our spots. So Harry Hall came across as a top 40 bet, but we're not going to be betting Harry Hall, who's super volatile right now, at -190. You're not laying 1.9 units to win one on that dude. We'll bet the +160 top 20, which is a 7% edge. In this model right now, I'll take any plus edges is solid because, like I said, the field is super weak. So any strength of field carryover doesn't quite make sense. Yeah, I'm not making sense anymore. Harry Hall top 20, let's go. All right. That pretty much concludes the majority of the placements. Let's go to our top 5 bets, who got us onto a outright for them as well, because nobody goes lower than Justin, and we're going to be betting on Justin lower for a top 5 at +1100, 11-1 for J-Lo. Hey, some booty. Let's go, baby. All right. Always fun to find new nicknames for these guys on the show. J-Lo and J-Lo's actually, Justin Lowe has got some junk in the trunk. I don't know why I know that, but he's a hefty chap. Some questions in the chat here. Okay, cool. Chat's doing good. So Justin Lower, the general philosophy here. Justin Lower to finish top 5, and Justin Lower in the winner without market on FanDuel, 55-1. I think it excludes Akshay, Kurt Kitayama, Patrick Rogers, Sam Stevens, and Rasmus Højgaard. So those 5 guys, if they win, doesn't matter. As long as Justin finishes 6th to all 5 of them or 2nd to one of them, we're Gucci. The reason we go to that market is because we have an Akshay Bhatia ticket as well at 22-1. So we can potentially win 2 outrights this week. I'm feeling lucky all of a sudden, and I think that's what's got my energy up. We're going to be betting both. We'll get to Akshay here shortly, but that's why we're going to be going to Justin Lower in the market without. We're going to hit J-Lo where it works. So some reasoning. Course history. Finished 3rd here last year. Solid box to check. If we take a look at his best recent finishes, he finished 3rd at which tournament? The Amex, okay. It's not sucking in the 2nd place finish from the 2nd place he had at the Wild West Technology Championship, WWT, MEXRICO. Finished 2nd. He made an eagle. This is how it's been working. I bet Max Griesemann 3 places each way at that exact tournament. Because why? Max Griesemann had been finishing top 3 at a ridiculous rate. Griesemann finishes 3rd, finishes his round. Justin Lower comes through, makes an eagle, goes from 4th straight into 2nd, just bypasses Max Griesemann, kicks him from 3rd to 4th. I miss out on the 3 places each way, and that's it, because he makes an eagle on the final hole. A birdie gets that chopped up at least. I make some money. No, Justin Lower, J-Lo, goes low, hits the eagle, boom. That's when it all started. That's literally when it all started. A complete, total disaster. It is what it is. So we'll take it. It is what it is. Sucks. Life goes on. So anyway, Justin Lower, second at the Mexico WWT and third at the Mexico Vidanta. So he's got a second and a third. And it's actually gone third to second to first. So maybe he just wins this week anyway. I love his chances. I love him for a top 5. I think between the 3 books I mentioned for ties paid in full, 2 of them had at 11-1, and one of them had them at plus 750. I think it was Bet365. So there's a massive difference in the top 5 market there. And you don't often see that big of a difference between book numbers, but it is the case. And J-Lo, it's his best market, top 5 market. He's been incredible in that department. Finishes inside the top 5 17% of the time. Top 20 rate, 22% of the time. So a 5% difference between top 5 and top 20. Basically, when he's finishing inside the top 20, he's finishing inside the top 5. So you might as well just bet him to finish top 5. If you go pull up Justin Lower's stat thing here, you'll see those bar charts. The top 5 market's going to be so much more rewarding to you over the last 2 years. He's actually lost you money in the top 20 market, and he's returned you a decent chunk of $260 betting to win 100 every single time he plays. And we've got those 3 top 5s at the American Express, the Butterfield Bermuda, and the Mayo Championship, which is the WWT. It's just trying to make them the same so that when you pull up Mayo, it's got all of that stuff in. Do you go with the most recent one, or do you go with one that's from ever ago? We're just going to go with Mayo because whatever. So let's go, J-Lo. It's time. It's absolutely time. You want to go win this tournament. We want you to win it. Let's see what you can do for us. Let's freaking go. So we mentioned Akshay already. Let's just grab him. The reason to get in the Discord, not necessarily to have the bets that win, but to get books when they're sleeping. There's a 14-1 now. We got on Akshay at 22-1 in the Discord. Maverick McNeely withdrew. By the way, DraftKings is now dropping odds on Sunday nights. So that's before anyone withdraws. So you can go to DraftKings if you find a number that you think won't be beaten once the books open up on Monday morning, once the rest of the world is snoozing all the other books. They need to all get together and drop those numbers on Sunday. Akshay has gone from 22 to 14. That's a massive drop. So not necessarily the greatest in the model. Number 1 in the DraftKings pricing, 3rd in safety, 7th in upside. Only finishing inside the top 5 at like an 8% clip. Has been playing in much better golf tournaments, though, with better golfers. So, again, that's where that percentage finishing rates, I need to change it up so I can filter on non-signature events and signature events and majors. So that maybe we use those percentages, but then the sample size gets smaller. It's a hard, the way the PGA Tour is working now, it's kind of difficult to kind of, get my stuff going. It is what it is. We're moving along, yeah. All right, so the best finish Akshay's had at this golf course was in 2023, finished 4th. Solid stuff. But recently, he's been playing okay. 32nd at the TOC. There's only like 60 people that really play there. 22nd at Pebble, where he's played great golf at one point in his life when he was still showing up as a young teenager. I think he hit all 18 greens around Pebble Beach. First time that's happened in like 4 of his lifetimes at the time. So he's solid on the West Coast. Then at the Genesis Invitational, finished 9th. And I believe the ball striking there was phenomenal. So we got some good ball striking numbers entering the week. Great course history, so to speak. In the one appearance, he finished 4th. And we know Akshay Bhatia is a coastal guy. The majority of his Corn Ferry Tour events wins happened on coastal courses where he didn't even know how to pronounce the Great Abaco Classic in the Bahamas. I believe that was the name of his win. We can actually even go look. Let's do this. It won't be in here, but we have Corn Ferry stuff on the back end. We can completely just go crazy here. Okay. Let's clear these filters. This is still in like sub-beta situations here, but we're going to pull up Akshay and see, just show you guys, all of his wins, because these are round by rounds. Ugh, I don't want round by round. I want by the event. So Joseph Bramlett at the Farmers did not cash for us. Missed the cut. But is what it is. All right. So Akshay, moving along. Bhatia, here he is. Position. Some of his best strokes gain totals for the last little while was the Valero Texas Open, coastal golf course. Not really. It's in the middle of Texas. But we've got the Bahamas Great Exuma Classic that he won. Amazing. Congratulations. Mexico Open at Vidanta. It's the third most strokes he's ever gained in a golf course. This obviously stops at 2024. I haven't updated for 2025 because I'm still doing it again. But here we go again. The Bahamas Great Exuma Classic. He finished 4th the year before that. Oh, and then we got the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic at the Abaco Club, where Akshay's done some good stuff. So, as you can see, all of these coastal resorts, he's played some good golf at. Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit, coastal, Midwest. Joking. But you get what I'm saying here. Okay, moving on back to what we were actually chatting about. Akshay Bhatia on the card. Let's go. 22-1 to win this thing. Let's party. Why is the like stuck on 2? Brad's asking. I don't understand either, Brad. We've got like 400 people have tuned in across Twitter and YouTube already. I don't understand. That conversion rate sucks. Hit that freaking like button, people. Granted, I haven't given away a free month to the Patreon. So I'm going to need you guys to hit that like button like right now. I'm going to pull up the question for the giveaway this week. Mrs. Maniac showing up. Dog's going to start barking. It's okay. Oh, they're actually still outside because it's so cold they can't get through the dog flaps. I have a question for you guys. In this field, playing this week, who has lost the most total dollars across all the markets? Top 20, top 10, top 5, and to win. There's a name that has the last name is occurring twice in this field. You will find this person's name. If you filter by last names, there's another doppelganger, not his brother. And I believe this one person's from America. The other one is from like somewhere else across the pond. So that's the question this week. Hit me up in the comments. First person to get it right gets a free month that's not already in the Discord. You get in the Discord for free. Get all the tools. Get all the access. I love you. You love me. Hit the like button. I appreciate all of you. This week, playing in this field, who on earth has lost the most total dollars across all markets? So it has to be someone decent. It's not going to be a bad golfer because their odds suck, right? So it has to be someone in the middle tier where, like a Luke List, it's not him, Chris, apologies, but you are looking for guys that are like reasonably priced that haven't quite met those expectations. So if you guys are only hearing me now, make sure that you're hitting the live button as well because we're not getting many comments going on. I'm just going to stop the show. I'm just going to stop the show on you guys. So let's get some comments rocking and rolling. Yes, this week, playing this week, who has lost the most total dollars across all markets? Darbo, pay attention. Okay, JD saying Rogers. It's not Patrick Rogers. Joanne. Yes, I know. Commentating nerd in the Patreon and the Discord already. I need to figure out. I'm going to ask you guys what I can do for you on the show as a little kind of giveaway as well. I'm just going to, Phil saying Bhatia. It's not Bhatia. Joanne says Adam Svensson. I tend to agree with Joanne. Somehow she is the absolute savage of all savages, but it looks like Seth also got it right. And Joanne has now entered herself into the Discord 3 times. And I don't think you're even in there yet, Joanne. So we need to still get you in there. Hit me up in the Patreon. I know you're in there already. Let's get you into the Discord now. You're close. We're going to just select everybody, pull this up. Go over to the side of the model. You can see this all in the model if you subs to the Patreon. And we go, who's won the most total stuff? We go Z to A, because that's negativers. And that's the wrong way to go. We're going to go A to Z. I will take the Svensson from Seth, because I mentioned that it's a double name. Is Joanne AI? I think she is. Falls out of a ladder on climbing a tree and still manages to knock all of you guys out the park when it comes to Joanne. You don't even need the Patreon. Just look at the instructions I sent to you on Patreon so you can get into the Discord, because you've got yourself 3 months banked along with Seth. So yes, Svensson, and it's by a clear margin. The majority of his damage is coming in the top 20 market. He's finishing inside the top 20 at a 13% clip. But if you take a look at what Svensson's actually been up to, let's go and take a look at his situation. What has he been up to here? Adam Svensson in the last couple years. Look at the situation here. Wow. So the last time he cashed a top 20 was the Pro Core. And for the most part, his odds were sitting south of 2 to 1. Plus 200 for the most part. Recently, they started making some adjustments. He's now plus 400 at the American Express, plus 500 at the Farmers, plus 550 at the Waste Management. So they kind of finally starting to figure their stuff out. But for the longest while, I mean, this is some tragic results. 3 top 10s, 4 top 20s, 4 top 20s the whole year. At the Pro Core, at the Wyndham, at the Travelers of all places, signature events, and the Genesis Invitational. So, no good for him. So don't be betting Adam Svensson top 20 or anything right now. The guy is playing really bad golf. So you can see this stuff using the tool. It's all in there for you guys. And congratulations to Seth. Hit me up on X or go find the Model Maniac Discord. The Model Maniac Discord. Get in there. I'll get your roles upgraded. Have you in there having a good time. So Luke List was a good guess. Luke List was a good guess, by the way. He was very, very close. So Nick asking on X, need to get over to YouTube so you can hit the like button, by the way. What's up with Joel Damon? Thoughts about him? We'll get there shortly. Cool beans. All right. So we've done with who's played the worst, who's cost you the most money. Let's get back to Akshay. We spoke about him already. Some more outrights. Then we're going to chat some DFS. Get the hell out of here. Jake Knapp, 50 to 1, Sunday night. We hit him in Mexico. By the way, we crushed Mexico. We've had Eric van Rooyen at the WWT in 2023, and then we had Jake Knapp in 2024. So we do a Mexico winner here or there. We had almost Max Griesemann at the WWT last year. 50 to 1 Jake Knapp this year. Let's go. Playing good golf. If you take a look at what Jake Knapp's been up to, model's not going to pick him up that much because there's some random really bad rounds that he's had that kind of mess with his averages and shit. But if you take a look at Jake Knapp's course history, it's the best in the field. Obviously, he won here in his debut. But finished 32nd at the Farmers and then 17th at the Genesis Invitational. So to see him improving on that golf course that we found success on in the past, I think before he won the Mexico Open, he finished 3rd or 4th at Torrey Pines at the Farmers. So went back to the Genesis, finished 17th against the big boys in the signature event. So he's playing some solid golf. As always, he's got really, 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 really good long iron proximity numbers, 16th in the field in strokes gained from that department. He's actually a very good wedge player too, surprisingly enough. So either side of that 150 to 200 range, he's very, very good. Not so good in the 150 to 200 range, though. 18th in the field in distance. We've had some weird courses going on. He's got tons and tons of distance off the tee, but he's been playing some smaller courses that he's had to lay up on. I don't know why his numbers are 18th in the field. He's very, very long off the tee. So we're hoping he can get it done for us at 50-1. I mean, he's back at a golf course that suits him really nicely. He's played well on golf courses that suit him really nicely. The number was too big. I think it's now 35-1. I don't know if I'd bet that right now. I'm sorry. If you want to bet it 35-1, go ahead. Do your thing. Not telling you to do it, but if that's what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you. Because sometimes this is just meant to be fun. And hitting a winner is fun. Also making money is fun. But Chris Ventura without Akshay, Rasmus, Patrick Rogers, illustrious winners, Sam Stevens, and Kurt Kitayama. Chris Ventura. Let's pull up Ace and see what's going on. Because this guy is just playing some good golf right now. The ball striking has been really, really good. And remember, do you remember when I told you about Jake Knapp finishing quite nicely at the Farmers? Well, take a look here. Some calm course history. That's a little telltale sign for you guys there. 24th in the field in total strokes gained. The ball striking sitting 20th right there. He's 17th in the field in distance. Solid stuff over there. If you take a look at the good shot proximities from 150 to 200, number one in the field. If you take a look at the strokes gained from 200 plus, he's fifth in the field. Very nice to see that. The rough stuff, not the best. Not very good out the rough, surprisingly. It's a lot of green in regulations, but doesn't gain a lot of strokes. Weird combination there. But that's not what I want to tell you. What I want to tell you is that he finished fourth at the Farmers not so long ago. Hello? You feel me? Ball striking, good form, good course history at the Farmers. Hasn't played this golf course before. Let's see what he can do for us. And while I'm on this, it was someone else. It was Vince Norman, I believe. But still. So what I did earlier, complete tangent going on here. I added a new column called the Fortune Cookie Filter. When I was at Rotorball, I used to do a article called the Stat Buffet, where I take screenshots of all sorts of different stuff and serve it to you on a all-you-can-eat platter. So what I did this time, I would then filter everyone above average and see of specific unique metrics that we really want at this golf course and see who shows up. So what I did with this is I just decided, and let me give you the parameters here. Look at this. So I'll just put up the Discord here for you guys at the same time and show you what's going on here. Like, this is all research that I've been popping in the channel for you guys. Key correlations. You can see all the different. Look at how much you need from 150 to 200. Like, it's totally insane. There's not that much going on inside 150. You can see all the different scoring averages, how the different correlations matter for all the different strokes gains, all that jazz. But what I did was, there's some weather for you guys with a nice picture of the golf course, best finishes, blah, blah, blah. A top 20 this year with top 20 in ball striking, some kind of background around that. And then I did this. Strokes gained, ball striking, top 30 in every single one of these categories. Strokes gained, ball striking, driving distance, all things that matter around you. Strokes gained from 150 to 200 on approach. Strokes gained from 200 plus on approach. Strokes gained from 150 plus out the rough. A top 30 finish in 2025 and a top 30 finish at the Mexico. Figured those are solid things to kind of go off of. So I did a filter here, and the guys that kicked out the best, Kurt Kitayama, this is still from 2024, the TOC. So he finished 37th, I believe, or 39th at that one. But you get the gist. Most of these guys, the TOC stuff isn't going to make much sense. But Kurt Kitayama checks all 7 boxes if you take in 2024 TOC in there. All 6 of them, if you take a look at Kurt Kitayama's recent performances at this golf course, he's played some good stuff over there. If you take a look at his proximity numbers, he's 14th in the field from strokes gained 200 plus. He's 13th in the field from 150 to 200. Very good. If you take a look at the distance, he's 9th in the field. As you can see, Steven Yeager finds himself in that list as well. 21st in distance, some solid metrics when it comes to so it looks like his ball striking numbers are the problem. Those are the reasons why he's not as high as Kurt Kitayama on that ranking. But he's got a top 30. He's got 3 top 20s at this golf course, like we've spoken about, and a 3rd place finish at the Sony. So he's got some recent form, all of that jazz. He checks the boxes 5 times. Some other guys that check the boxes 5 times. Eric van Rooyen, Kevin Yu, Vincent Norman. Love those names. And I believe when I change the Tournament of Champions, which I've already done, I think, on the other one, Aaron Rai pops into the mix. Some other names. Akshay Bhatia shows up. Jesper Svensson shows up. Jake Knapp, Kevin Roy, Jackson Suba, CT Pan, Chris Ventura. I knew he would show up when he said 4. So, lots to like with this stuff. He checks a lot of the boxes for us. 65-1 without those other 4 illustrious winners on FanDuel. And then I have one more bet for you guys before we get into some DFS. Cristobal Del Solar. He's now 150-1 over at Bet Rivers, 6 places each way. I don't know what all the other books have him at, but if I go ahead and take strokes gained round 1 and I filter that from smallest to largest, there is Cristobal Del Solar. And I'm not lying to you when it comes to this stuff. He's number 1 in strokes gained round 1. He's not better than 113th in the other strokes gained departments. Not good at all. But we hammered him at the Amex in round 1, and he had his fourth worst round ever. Okay? His 4th worst round ever. And if I go over here, I think we have a Corn Ferry DP World Tour page that we can pull up. That's also kind of semi-broken, but it is still working to some capacity. Let's pull up Del Solar. And you can see, strokes gained in round 1, 2.8 strokes. The rest of the strokes gained, he's losing. Losing strokes in that department. Sadly. Not good. No dice. So we bet him at the Amex in round 1. We throw him in all our round 1 showdowns. Loses 6 strokes that day. All good. It is what it is. Then he goes over and he heads over to Torrey Pines for the Farmers Insurance. And we don't bet him round 1 because we think he's completely broken. He gains 4.85 strokes in the first round around Torrey Pines South, shoots a 68. You think I'm freaking lying to you guys? You think I'm freaking lying to you guys? Look at this nonsense. We'll go to the Farmers. We'll go to round 1. And we'll go to strokes gained total. Where is this man? 4.5 strokes gained. 4.5 strokes gained. He would have finished top 5. Would have finished 4th. T4. At the Farmers. It's the only round of the year that he's gained strokes. The rest have been lost. He doesn't even show up. You know what I'm saying? So this dude in round 1 is just insane. He's absolutely insane. 200-1, 150-1, whatever. Get the 6 places each way. In 2024, when he was on the Corn Ferry Tour, he had 10 times. He had a round 1 where he gained 4+ strokes. He only lost strokes, I think, 5 times in round 1. And then we bet him at the Amex, and he has his 4th worst ever round. Like, what on earth is this that we've been doing? So obviously we're expecting a career worst round now that we've gone on him again. But the methodology is there. The process is there. It is what it is. We'll see. All right. So, Cristobal Del Solar, round 1 showdown. Boom. Okay. All righty. Time to do some DFS stuff, some Q&A. If you got any deep dives you want to do, guys, hit me up. We'll chat. We'll pull them up. Let's go. I'm going to have a quick sip of some water. All right. Angelina showing up here with the heart stars. Damn, I thought they were hearts. All good. Mrs. Maniac showed up anyway, so stars are probably for the best. What's up, Angelina Jolie? We have J-Lo, Angelina Jolie, all of them in the showdowns here. All right. Side saying Jake Knapp, first round leader. Not a terrible shout either. I think that's a good way to get exposure to him if you missed out on the nice numbers. Side saying just Tiger struggling in TGL. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, Taylor Dixon. When I try to click these things, it moves around on me. Taylor Dixon finishes in the top 40. If I don't even know who the hell Taylor Dixon is, Wheels Up. By the way, if you're not checking out Wheels Up's YouTube channel, you're missing out too. Very, very solid stuff. Love what he gets up to. Check it out. I beg you. Taylor Dixon, $6,200. Solid in round 1 and round 2. His top 40 rates on the K, I would imagine KFT is a 40% clip. Finishes inside the top 5 around 10% of the time. His key attributes so far on the strokes gain that we do have of him is a strokes gain around the green of 17. And I will tell you that Taylor Dixon finishes inside the top 40 if he can gain strokes at all in any capacity in round 3. Seems like a Saturday situation for him is not the best. He's pretty damn solid at getting himself into the weekend, typically. Obviously, his debut on the PGA Tours got off to a bit of a slow start. But, you know, he can do his thing. He can do his thing. Yeah, doesn't have much distance. He's more of an accuracy, but not either. But also, I'd imagine he's not necessarily the easiest guy to get data on right now because we don't have that. But, by the way, we got the rookie rundown here. So I should probably go and do the, oh yeah, look, there's Cristobal Del Solar, like years ahead of everybody in round 1. So we can pull up Taylor Dixon. So this is all KFT and DP World Tour people that you can find in this rookie rundown if you join the Patreon link in the description below. Or congratulations to Seth and Joanne, who's got like an unlimited supply of free months, Joanne does. But Seth, please make sure you reach out to me in one capacity or another so we can get you going on there. As you can see, Wheels Up, round 3 for Taylor Dixon, negative strokes gained. Just gain a couple there, we're looking good. Doesn't have much accuracy considering his distance is below 300 yards. You're typically looking for guys that have distance above that. That's tour average. You need better accuracy than that on the Corn Ferry Tour in particular to get your stuff going on. Pretty good at avoiding the 3-putt. Seems like he's a good putter. Bogey avoidance, good stuff. Not going to necessarily help you that much around here, but for a top 40, it can help. Par 4 scoring, very, very good. Not the best par 5 scorer, unfortunately. Going to need that around you. And I don't mind leaning into par 5 metrics a little more this week because of the lengths of the holes. The holes are going to play. The par 4s will be playing more like par 5s. So you can throw in par 5 scoring a little more because these par 4s are going to be short par 5s to some capacity. So you're going to need similar skill sets to dismantle those holes. So I can't necessarily tell you that I'm a fan of him for this course fit. But, you know, maybe at other venues where like the Valspar, where you need a bit more accuracy, some par 4 scoring, distance isn't that big of a big deal. Maybe. So not a big fan of Taylor Dixon this week. We'll get to him at some point. I'm assuming he'll be very solid if you're on him. Okay, let's not die here. We are doing good. We haven't really had any issues. Health doing a lot better. Last week was still a bit of a slug fest. I'm looking for comments. And StreamYard jumbles these comments up as people go about it. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. I think there were some questions about Alex Smalley. Let's pull up Alex Smalley quickly. Then we'll get to some more questions. JD asking DFS question. Do you construct your single entry lineups different than your GPP lineups? I'm assuming is what you meant. Yeah, so that's a great question because you got to remember, like, for instance, last week with Rory, when I got it completely wrong with the ownership, I expected more people to be on Scotty, but when there's a cheap value option like Rory in single entries, I expected him to be closer to Scotty because people don't want to just put Scotty in there and then have to go to the bottom of the barrel for, like, instance, if they are just doing 1 or 2 lineups, they don't want to be taking on a 6K guy for the most part. Unless you're doing a lot of lineups across single entries, it changes. But everyone went to Rory because it saved you a couple, like $1,000 or something. So that your other 5 guys that are literally your entire week's bread-winning capabilities gives you a bit more value to throw some better names in there. But the more lineups you make, the more you have to beat the variations in a GPP. You got to be more aggressive. You can't be taking on as much chalk. You can't be taking on as much value. And as a result, and you could see Scotty Scheffler was a little more popular in those events because everyone was like, okay, I have so many contests that I can enter, so many lineups, that if I throw Scotty into, say, 35% of my 150 lineups, 50 of those, then we figure out the combinations for those 50. Whereas in a single entry, when Scotty's so expensive, trying to find the other 5 combinations is really tough. You're going to be having 1 or 2 guys because of the prices associated with them that will let you down more often than not. So going to a more balanced build potentially in single entries helps you avoid those Scotty Scheffler lineups that don't have as many opportunities because the contest is so much smaller to find the perfect combination of a cheapie to complement Scotty with. But in the big GPPs, when Scotty's finishing third and whoever the heck is showing up after that, it's probably a cheapo that makes that lineup work because there's just so many variations that people are throwing into the big GPPs. So yes, you want to be different and think about how you would build a GPP lineup and use variations of that in a single entry. If you had Scotty Scheffler in last week's single entries, you were crushing because Rory let you down, let me down, let us all down. Like 50+% of the people were let down by Rory last week, where only 30% were on Scotty. So yes, you do kind of change your lineups a little bit in that department. I think it's a way to go. Wheels Up saying he likes his make the cut rate for him. Yeah. Awesome stuff, dude. Yeah. I love your energy too on the Twitter spaces. It's been fun listening to your stuff. It really has. Okay. Let's get back to of course, Darbo is busy coming in here saying Rory could have won you a GPP last week by 20 points. Well, he didn't. He didn't, Darbo. Okay. Or maybe he did. I don't know. Go check out Sweet Spot DFS after this show, by the way. I give Darbo a hard time, but I love him. I've lost track of the entire show. My tabs are super small, and I can't find where we were going. Where's my actual model? More over here. There we go. Yeah, we freaking go. Okay. We wanted to look at Alex Smalley a little bit. And I think he's one of the guys. Now, if we go to the round, let's go back to this form tracker quickly and pull up Alex Smalley because I remember putting Mackenzie Hughes on Alex Smalley. I'm not even showing my screen. If we pull up Smalley here, I had Mackenzie Hughes up against him. And given his last 12 months, he's been losing strokes in the last 12 months. But in the last 4 months, he's gained 0.2 strokes. And this year, he's gained 0.8. So again, if I'm using a large, and I did this at Pebble Beach. So it was like 4 tournaments in. You don't even know who's playing better after the break or not. I pick a matchup against Alex Smalley, who's completely revitalized his entire game. His putting and his around the green play has improved drastically. He's almost gaining 0.4 strokes in that department, and things are looking good. So typically that short game's let him down. It's now shown up, and he's gained across the board. The ball striking is gaining him a stroke per round in the 11 shot link rounds we've had so far. So he's playing some good golf. If we take a look at what he's been up to in all the different metrics, he typically struggles from this large distance, 200 plus. As you can see, his best metric is actually 62nd, which is almost his worst metric inside 200 yards. So is this the ideal golf course for him? We don't necessarily know. The small sample size could be a problem if we're just looking for how his irons have done this year. But again, if we go back to that form tracker, his iron play seems like it's pretty much the same. So it's literally the exact same, which makes me wonder what the hell's going on there. But it seems like all the other ones are changing. So he's just super consistent on the iron front. So I don't know if this is going to be the perfect venue for him. Has he played well here before in the past? That's another question we can ask ourselves. Yes. Back in 2022, he played well and finished sixth here. But since then, we've had 2 missed cuts at Vidanta. You feel me? At the Farmers, he missed the cuts. Played nicely at the WM. I mean, everywhere else where you've got a bit more wedge intensities, I think that's mainly his range, is that inside 200 yards, you want to be hammering Alex Smalley. But when you're going to be seeing, remember, we showed like a third of shots are going to be coming from 200 plus, and he's not very good from that range. He's 109th in strokes gained from that department. Not good. So I think he's going to be very popular. And as a result, if you want a reason to fade him, I'm assuming that's not what you were asking me for. That could be the reason. But if you're looking to play him, the recent form is definitely there. I don't know how great of a course fit he is this week. Alex Smalley. There we go. Right, people, hit that like button, please. I appreciate you guys. And subscribe to Mayo Media Network. We're almost at 50,000 subscribers on there. I want to be a decent chunk of why we get there, okay? Got to tell Pat I'm doing my job here to some capacity. Darbo says he loves me too, boo. I love you too, boo. Okay. Jack Fisher. Yeah, my brother. Do you think Tristan Lawrence is a good each way at 100 to 1? I don't mind him. Now, we are at capacity when it comes to our outright card because we took a bit of juice on the without markets, but you can't hit 2 outrights in 1 week if you don't take the without market. So if we take a look at Tristan, I think that price is just wrong. You know, like if we pull up his world ranking, literally ranked 57th in the world. I think at the end of the year, he's playing in the Masters because he was top 50 by the end of last year. So it's been a rough couple stretches. He's missed 4 consecutive cuts across the DP and the PGA, and it's just been in epic fashion as well. We bet Tristan live at the Farmers, and then he went and shot one of the worst rounds of his life as well at the Farmers. So it is what it is, but he got blown off the golf course that day. It's okay. So Tristan, profile-wise, over the last little while, he's a great course. I mean, look at these metrics here. This is exciting to me. This is very exciting. If we want to take a look at Tristan's strokes gained from 200 yards out, he's third in this field. And it's across the board for the 200 metric mark. So, yeah, I mean, the Farmers would have been a good spot for him given that. And he did gain on approach at the Farmers. Surprise, surprise. And he was actually, he lost most of his strokes around the green. But looking at his metrics here, the Farmers has him losing strokes in a big way. And it was the North course. He went and played the North course and got wiped out. He would have gained strokes on the South side, which I think is a very similar correlation to this week. So the 150 to 200 buckets is ass. But man, he's good with the long irons. So if we can get that going, we're looking good. We know how well he can putt. He's a very, very good putter. Currently, he's been struggling, but he's been struggling really badly, and the putt is still like of the better ones. So there's a lot to like from Tristan. A lot to like. I'm all in on him in DFS at $7,000. Let's go. The each way, you know, the upside, I don't know. I mean, he could show up out of nowhere. Get a bit of confidence with the long irons. This guy wins golf tournaments. He wins golf tournaments. In 2024, he won a golf tournament on the Sunshine Tour. I know it's not the greatest, but don't disrespect South Africa. In 2023, he won the BMW International Open. In 2022, he won the Omega European Masters. And then in 2021, he won the Joburg Open. I believe that was in one single round. My dad's trying to call me on a podcast. This is what's going on in life. All right, I'll call him back. So Tristan, yes, let's go. I like Tristan a lot. Brad asking McCarthy, which, by the way, it's McCarty. There's no F in there. It's a T. But no, not on him either. Jackson Suba is an unproven prospect. He's got high upside. But, man, I like Joel Damon in a big way. Because we spoke about Joel at the beginning of the show, and I really liked his ability to pair up. How you want to look at these guys is accuracy for Joel is great. So then you look for fairway proximity and fairway strokes gained, because he's going to be in the fairway a lot. If you're going for guys with distance, you need to take a look at their strokes gained out of the rough, because they'll be in that a little bit more than most. So Joel, even though he's got really short distance, but now he's like training like a Navy SEAL, so maybe he's going to pick up some speed. But look at these strokes gain metrics from 200 plus. He's great in that department, and pretty much across the board when it comes to iron play. But it's like one of his best metrics. It's his second best metric outside of poor shot avoidance from 200 plus, which is good with all the water around you. You want to be avoiding losing those half strokes on approach at routine times. And then he's very good with the wedges, which does make, you don't want any of that this week. There's like hardly any of them going on. Still very good from 150 to 200, but very good from 200 plus. So yes, give me Joel Damon, dude. I'm in. Matt McCarty has completely fallen off the deep end. I actually tweeted about him earlier, showed I couldn't even put his name in. I just took a screenshot of his results. Got the win at the Black Desert, and I think his next best finish is like a T57 with like 4 or 5 straight missed cuts in a row. Ugh, not good. It's not looking good right now. Thoughts on Kevin Yu? By the way, if I've missed a comment of yours up top, throw it in again, because I'm kind of now just got back to the bottom of these comments. We're going to be going through it here. Seth, our new Discord member, is asking about Kevin Yu. I love freaking Kevin Yu. Love Kevin Yu a lot. I was contemplating even betting him. But what I've noticed about Kevin Yu is he used to be a frequent flyer in our upside model. 17th in the upside, but 14th for safety. He used to rattle off top 10s like very sporadically. Miss the cut, top 10. Bang. Now, it's completely switched around. He doesn't hardly ever frequent the top 10. But look at this like top 20 rates, 28% top 20 rates, and I guess 33% top 40 rate, which isn't great, but it's been a lot better lately. A lot better lately. I'm lying to you. I'm not lying to you. He's solid. If you take a look at the Genesis Invitational, finished 17th. Waste Management Phoenix Open, finished 16th. 64th at Pebble, that's like what, 72 people in that field? Yeah, 80 people, whatever, not the greatest. Slow start to the year. But the fact that he finished 17th at Genesis Invitational, which was a missed cut at the Farmers, same golf course, it's a good sign. Now, when it comes to course fit, I'm obsessed with this guy's ball striking. 5th in the field in ball striking, got tons of distance, and he's solid when it comes to strokes gained off the tee on longer golf courses. His proximities and his iron play on the different situations here, 7th best strokes gained from 150 to 200, 33rd from 200 plus, and then his worst strokes gained averages is from 100 to 150, 92nd. So that's good. You don't want to be playing Kevin Yu at a wedge fest. You want to be playing him at a mid to long iron venue like this. So I think he's a great course fit, and his strokes gained out the rough is 9th. It's also one of his better attributes. From 150 and out the rough, he's top 10 in this field, gaining strokes. So there's a lot to like from Kevin Yu's standpoint in that department. And great par 5 scorer. Obviously, the the putting and stuff can go all over the place. The ball striking is great. The short game isn't. I think this golf course can be dismantled with ball striking, especially with the power he has and the good long iron proximities and stuff. So yes, love Kevin Yu. $8,800 is going to have people not clicking his name. If we take a look at what he's been up to in the prices, yeah. I mean, we can filter this by DFS slates, and we'll find a multitude of names to go to instead. Alex Smalley, there we go. I mean, this is an easy pivot off of Alex Smalley to Kevin Yu. Jake Knapp, big name. So I love Justin Lower, obviously. I think he's a great option in this range as well. Nicholas Norgard, love him too. So there's some names to get off of in this 8K range for sure. There's Taylor Moore at 9,000. I think people go to him instead. Ben Griffin, way more popular name than Kevin Yu. So I think you should be going to Kevin Yu in DFS. I think he'll be one of the lower owned options in above $8,500 for sure. I'll have Lawrence top 20 sails the ball, absolutely. And the long irons, especially. No one in the top 20 playing. Why? Well, it's kind of because of how this signature events and designated events have made this happen. I think guys that are inside the top 20 don't want to fly all the way to Mexico and play in an event like this. They're going to let the other guys that need FedEx points get into these fields. Patrick Harrington's playing this week, the OG. So, we've got some interesting names. I think we can. It's just how the schedules work nowadays. It's not like a slight on this tournament. Tony Finau usually shows up. He just had a kid. John Rahm used to do his part. Nico Echeverria should be showing up here. Also thought he'd be playing Keith Mitchell WD'd as well. Keith Mitchell's not playing good enough golf right now to be WDing from the Mexico Open, okay? Don't know what that's about. Keith Mitchell's cost us a lot of money in the top 20 market as well. Finishing top 30 every freaking time, but not top 20. Anyway, moving along. Is there a team event? No top guys in ranks. No team. Well, the TGL happened, all of that stuff, but I don't think it's got it. It's just this field's never been very good. Remember, John Rahm was like plus 250 to win this tournament when he was playing. So interesting stuff in that department. Yeah, exactly, Jack. Fourth at the Open. I mean, this guy's a baller, absolute baller, and I love those long iron numbers. That can be an absolute weapon this week. Yep. Value play Chandler Phillips. Yep. Rico Hoey doing anything for you this week? The name of the show, MEXRICO Hoey. MEXRICO. All right. Rico. I kind of fancy his chances, too. I like him at $7,200. Look at the ball striking, 17th in the field. He's got a bit of distance, a bit of accuracy. Got both. That's nice to see. Strokes gained from 100 to 150, 104th in the field. No good. Strokes gained from 150 to 200, 26th in the field. Good. Strokes gained from 200, not good. So he's going to have to really lean into those mid irons, get that going for us. I mean, this dude has been very, very solid historically. Missed the cut here last year. That sucks. But prior to the Farmers and the Waste Management, where he lost 2 back-to-back cuts, the Shriners, he finished third, 22nd at the Zozo, 45th at the WWT. So he's kind of probably gone backwards a little bit, but he has the ability to get over the hump. And he needs to get his weekends figured out. I mean, he makes the cuts. And I mean, top 25 in strokes gained for rounds 1 and round 2. And then 85th and 125th in rounds 3 and round 4. That's no good. No. And for DFS, I typically prefer the upside ranking to be better than the safety ranking because we want upside. You know what I'm saying? Unless he's going to be your one safe guy that you throw in there, make sure that the other guys have some upside. I thought Maverick was playing, but he's going to... No, big tips. He's just finished second. He's won himself $2.2 million last week. So now he doesn't need to play here because... his FedEx Cup rankings and stuff, he'll get into the next signature events. He's probably going to play here to try and get into signature events going forward. But now that after that second place finish in a signature event, he's probably locked up those appearances going forward. Black Desert had a huge greens. McCarty did most of his damage on those greens, super volatile. Yeah, he did. But he was also playing a lot better. He just won 3 times on the Corn Ferry Tour. Don't just do that on the KFT. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you want to bet McCarty, you may as well bet Potgieter. Well, they're two different people. I think Potgieter is the way to go. I love the distance that Potgieter's got going on. Did we even mention? We never even brought him up. We'll get to him here shortly. All right, playing Hayden Springer for my cheap man this week. Yes, Joanne, loved Hayden Springer. He's been solid. And he fits this golf course quite nicely. If you take a look at the distance off the tee, if you take a look at the proximity numbers, he gets better. His strokes gained is 116th with the wedges. It's 96th from 150 to 200. That's actually just very bad across the board. But it's 8th out the rough from 150 and out. That's what we like about it, because he's got tons and tons of distance. His accuracy is 108th, but his distance is 12th. So he's got tons of distance, and he's good gaining strokes out the rough from 150 and out. His wedges out the rough, not the best. So we love Hayden Springer, and he's also an absolute round one candidate. We might even add him as a first-round leader. I like his chances here. Look at this recent situation, 6th at the Farmers. Surprise, surprise. Is that surprising? No, it's not. Perfectly built for that kind of situation. So Hayden Springer, $6,800. Let's go, Joanne. I can second that with you. Let's see. Good evening. Thanks, Joanne. Any hot takes on DP event? I have been trying to get myself into the DP World Tour at some point, but go check out on this channel. There's a DP World Tour podcast that Sky and what the heck is that other guy's name? There's a show that they do. I usually know it starts with a J, I think. I can't remember. Go check it out. It's on this channel. It's a beautiful thing. But first go watch Fantasy Golf Degenerates, then check that out over there. All right, people. Let's go. Yeah, let's bring him up. I mean, there's not much to discuss. Aldrich, we didn't even click his name for the whatchamacallits. I never did 2. Did I do Nicholas Norgard to win with 6 places? I don't think I did. I just totally skipped ADD'd the 2 guys I wanted to chat about here. So we'll start with Nicholas. If we take a look at his situation, he's been sucking on the PGA Tour one time. Farmers missed the cut. All good. Look at these strokes gain metrics here. The ball striking, fantasticals. The short game, terrible. Distance, second in the field. Love it. So that's what you're getting. A Nuke City in that department. He's won on the DP World Tour before. The strokes gain metrics for him in limited capacity, definitely much better on approach from 200 out than anywhere else. I would imagine he takes his golf course apart, particularly in round 1. Surprise, surprise. I'm giving all my showdown plays over here to you guys. Round 1, round 2, he's going to be your guy. So at 55-1, I felt like that was a very fair number for this guy that's got winning pedigree on the DP World Tour, a perfect course fit for this situation. He is second in the field in distance. So, like, he can just take this golf course absolutely apart. So, Nicholas Norgard, I'm a big fan of him. We bet him. I mean, he's $8,400 on DK, but he was 55-1 in the betting odds market. Bit of a weird situation in that respect. So, kind of grab that number. And I like that number. I think I was seeing 40s out there as well. So there was a big discrepancy in that number. And a lot of betting is about grabbing the right number as well. If you're grabbing a 40, it means you don't have space on your card to add Aldrich Potgieter as your final guy at 80-1. So Potgieter in the last little while, off the tee, leads the field. He's number 1 in distance. Fantastic stuff. If you take a look at the proximity numbers from 150 to 200, they're pretty damn good. His proximity numbers across the board are pretty damn solid. But the strokes gain numbers, not so hot. But very, very good at gaining proximity metrics out the rough as well. He is insane. Like, he is literally insane. When you want to take a look, I'm not going to pull up the PGA Tour website because that just slows everything down. But we can go to, like, the distance we can go, query tool. Like, you can see the actual distances. Look at this drop-off. It's like Nicholas Norgard and Aldrich right up top here. And what on earth is this bullshit? What is that flag doing over here? This guy is a born and bred South African, and they got a freaking Australian flag on him. I will be messaging Data Golf immediately after this. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. But looking at the off the tee plus putting combination for Aldrich makes perfect sense at this golf course, doesn't it? Was inside the top 5. He was 3rd, entering the final day at Torrey Pines and almost missed the top 20 on us. We had a top 5, a win, a top 10, and a top 20 on him. Didn't even get all of those. He made birdie on the final hole to make a top 20. That's how bad his final round was. Youngster, 19, 20 years old. He's going to be great on this PGA Tour. He's built exactly for what this tour needs. Absolutely overdue. We're going to hit 2 this week with the Out Market and with Akshay. It's exactly how it's going to be going down. So let's go, baby. I'm looking forward to a good Skyhook and Tom. There we go. Thank you so much. That's exactly where they are. Tom Jacobs. I knew that. I just couldn't think of his name on the show for some reason. Apologies, Tom. I don't know. Paspalum. He won, I think, in the Bahamas. Did Aldrich. One of his wins was in the Bahamas, which is Paspalum. 2024, the Great Abaco. Paspalum, there's your boy, Aldrich. So maybe they're good for him. You know, you feel me? You feel me, dog? So yeah, I'm saying weird things. It's off. We're no longer clowns, people. We are good-looking, middle-aged men and women now. Going to be a good week ahead. I appreciate it. You know what? I know the picks have been pretty poorly the last little while. The Wi-Fi sucking. But I appreciate every single one of you guys for showing up on Tuesdays at 7 Eastern. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your family, tell your aunts, uncles, friends, all that jazz. I appreciate every single one of you. Hit the like button on the way out. Check out Bet 105. Hit the link in the description there. Matchups for days. We've got that all for you there. 2, we're going to be getting that site looking beautiful with placements and all the stuff going on there. My Patreon's got all the tools you've seen that you can use over there in the link in the description below as well. The Dog Dominator for best ball. Use code Mayo to get yourself into those contests. $1,000 deposit match. So you put in $2,000, you win. You get $1,000 free bucks. So you got $3,000 worth of underdog money. By the way, me and Kenny hit 3 or 4 underdog slips last week at 6x, 6x, and 3x. So we are X's and O's, baby. You feel me? So lots of good stuff. I appreciate y'all. Let's have ourselves a week. Hit the like. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace.